Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Naishtihi. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 18, text number 11 and 12. Ete vayam nyasa haraha rasokasam. Ete vayam nyasa hara rasokasam. Tatah priyaha gadaya varitaha. Te tatah priyo gadaya varitaste. Tishta mahe atapi katanchi ajo. Tishta mahe atapi katanchi ajo. Steyam va yamaha. Steyam tvayamo balinotpadyai vairam. Ete vayam nyasahara rasokasam. Katah priya gadaya dravitaste. Tishtamahe atapi katanchidajo. Steyam tvayamo balinotpadyai vairam. Ete vayam nyasahara rasokasam. Katah priyo gadaya dravitaste. Tishtamahe atapi katanchidajo. Steyam kavayamo balinotpadya vairam. Ete, ourselves, vayam, we, nyasa, of the charge, haraha, thieves, rasaokasam, of the inhabitants of Rasātala, gatahriyaha, shameless, gadaya, by the mace, dravitaha, chaste, te, nevertheless, katanchit, somehow, ajo, on the battlefield, steyam, we must stay, kwa, where, yamaha, can we go, balina, with a powerful enemy, utpadya, having created, vairam, enmity. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Certainly we have stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasātala and have lost all shame. Although bitten by your powerful mace, I shall stay here in the water for some time, because having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I now have no place to go. Please repeat the translation. Certainly, we have stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasātala and have lost all shame. Although bitten by your powerful mace, I shall stay here in the water for some time, because having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I now have no place to go. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The demon should have known that God cannot be driven out of any place, for He is all pervading. Demons think of their positions as their property, but actually everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can take anything at any time He likes. Next verse, I'll recite myself. Tvam padratanam khila yotapadipo gatasvano asvastyaya asho anuhaha samstapya chasman pramrujashru swakanam yasvam pratignyam nati piparti asabhyaha. You are supposed to be the commander of many foot soldiers, and now you may take prompt steps to overthrow us. Give up all your foolish talk and wipe out the cares of your kith and kin by slaying us. One may be proud, yet he does not deserve a seat in an assembly if he fails to fulfill his promised word. Purport. A demon may be a great soldier and commander of a large number of infantry, but in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is powerless and is destined to die. The Lord therefore challenged the demon not to go away, but to fulfill his promised word to kill him. Presents the Bhakti Vedanta. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lord is reprimanding Hiraṇyākṣa for his loose talk earlier, what he had spoken. Lord is counteracting it. Earlier he scolded the Lord. The Lord is trying to justify, or he is trying to incite anger upon that person, so that the fight continues and Lord kills the demon. He says, Ete vayam nyasahara rasaukasa. So the inhabitants of Rasātala, mostly of atheistic and demoniac nature. So Lord is saying, Ete vayam, we, nyasaharaha, we have taken over the charge of the people of Rasātala. So earlier he said Rasātala people have taken the charge of the earth. Now the Lord is contracting, we have taken over the Rasātala charge. Gatah hriyaha, and we are shameless. When you do our duty, why we should be shameful? Any job is respectful. So we are doing our duty. And when we are doing our duty, then we don't bother for what you think or what others think. Gatah hriyaha, we have left all shame. And gadaya dravitaste, you have been running behind me with your mace. And I am trying to live this earth, you are following me with your mace and you are trying to give verbal challenge to me. Tishtamahe atapi kachanti jajo. Tishtamahe, I will stay here. Don't bother, I will not run away. Tishtamahe ajo, in this battlefield. Steyam kvayamo balinotpadya vairo. Why I will stay here? Because I have created an enmity with a powerful person. And I have no place to go anywhere. So I'll stay here. Don't bother that I'll run away. That I am like a timid fellow, whereby seeing a powerful personality I might run away. So the purport Prabhupada was saying, Demons think of their positions as their property, but actually everything belongs to the Lord, who can take anything at any time he likes. One of the names of Lord is Hari. Hari means one who steals everything. He takes away our distress also, he can take away our positions also. That's what the first shloka of Ishopanishad also says. Ishavashamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena taktena bunjita magruda kasha shittara. So everything was the property of the Lord. Ishavasham, everything he spread over. And he allocates the quota to every living entity. And if we try to encroach upon others' property, we are a thief. And in the next verse also the Lord is continuing his reproach. Tvam padaratanam kila yuttapadipaho. You are a commander-in-chief of control of so much army, foot soldiers and everything. Gatasvano asvasya aso anuhaha. So because you are a commander, you are a warrior, take appropriate steps in this fighting. Come preparedly. Samstapya chasman pramrojashru swakanam. Because earlier you were saying, I had killed your kith and kin. You want to satisfy them. You want to wipe away their tears. So come, be ready to offer solace to your ancestors. Yasvam pratignyam na atipiparti asabhyaha. So if you have taken a vow, if you have taken a promise, pratignaha, and if you fail to maintain that promise, then you are not qualified to sit in the battle or in an assembly. And a person of less character will not be valued anywhere. So if you fail your promise, you will not be valued. In an assembly, you will not get a seat. So you have taken a promise that you will kill me, maintain your promise if you can kill me. So Lord is challenging you. So it says, Tvam pad ratanam kila yutapadipaha. You are supposed to be the commander of many foot soldiers. Gatasvano ashvasya asho anuhaha. Now you can take appropriate steps to overthrow us. Pramrujashru swakanam. Now stop all your foolish talk and wipe out the cares of your kith and kin. How? Samstapya cha asman. By killing us, you make your forefathers happy. Asabhyaha yaswam pratignyam na atipiparti. So those, they do not deserve a seat in an assembly. Who are those who cannot maintain their promise? So commitment, if you give, we should stand by that commitment. This is Kshatriya. For a Kshatriya, commitment is very important. That's what Krishna was also scolding Arjuna. One of your name was? What was that one of that name where Arjuna took a vow that he will not keep his Gandiva below? The first chapter, 46 Shloka, Krishna was literally saying, scolding him indirectly. Because Arjuna had taken a vow that he will not keep his vow once lifted it. And his family name also Krishna incites. You are having a lineage. Kaunteya, Partha. From Pritha's side, from your mother's side, you have a rich heritage. From your father's side, Bharata, you have a rich heritage. Now you are trying to be a timid fellow. This is not appropriate for you. And if you try to run away from the battlefield or grounds of compassion, you are saying, my father, my teacher, my grandfather, my relatives, I don't want to kill them. Out of compassion, you are going away from the battlefield. But the opposite team, will they say, oh, he is so compassionate, very nice man. What they will scold? All the Maharathis, they have assembled here. They will scorn your abilities. They will criticize you. They say you are a fake warrior. And Krishna also says that at one particular point, ill fame is worse than death. So maintain your credibility. You have made a promise, do a commitment, whether success or failure, doesn't matter. Keep doing your duty. So Lord was inspiring Arjuna in this perspective. So here also Lord, see, this is an entire pastime for us of a specific Leela. Because it is between the Lord and his dear servant only. But externally they have accepted a demoniac form. In this material world, what happens when somebody, a demoniac person or atheistic person, when he gets that power, he wants to show off to everyone. So one such personality was Bhanasura. He was also in the Asura family. He is the powerful son of Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj had 100 sons. The eldest of them was Bhanasura. A great devotee of Lord Shiva. He had did tapasya and satisfied Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva gave him 1,000 arms. So with that 1,000 arms, he was also satisfying further Lord Shiva. Whenever Lord Shiva was doing the Tandava Nritya, with his 1,000 arms he was playing instruments, music. Because of this beat and everything, Lord Shiva was enjoying that Tandava Nritya. So much so that Lord became very much happy by him and blessed him with a benediction. What do you want? How can I help you? So Bhanasura said, if you are at all pleased with me, please always stay in my kingdom and protect me from my enemies. Lord Shiva said, okay, Tathastu, be it. But over a period of time, Bhanasura became too proud of his strength. He went to challenge anyone and everyone, but nobody was ready to fight with him. So he was so desperate to fight, because a demoniac person, that attitude, that fire is there within always to conquer others. So wherever he was going, everybody are running away from him. So one day he went to Lord Shiva and he said, my dear sir, whatever benediction you have given me, it has become a problem today. This 1,000 arms, I don't know what to do. There is no person who can combat with me. There is only one and only one person who can combat with me, that is you. The origin of everything, he started glorifying the Lord, and he started, Lord Shiva, and also he is saying, only you can fight with me, you can satisfy my desire to fight. Because I am not able to satisfy my desire, I am going and hitting the stones and breaking them to parts. कुछ काम धंधा नहीं है, क्या करूं मैं? पत्थर तोड़ रहा हूं. Then Lord Shiva said, you foolish rascal, after taking benediction, you have become so arrogant that you want to fight with me, and you are indirectly criticizing me that I have given a useless boon to you. One day you will meet your person. That day all your trash talk will be kept aside. And all your name and fame, everything will be gone to smash to pieces. And your victory flag in your country, everything will be destroyed. That day will come to reality, senses. So he scolded him and he gave him a warning. The later Lord Krishna will come when Aniruddha was captured by Usha, and Lord will come and destroy everything there, and he will cut off all the hands except to make him a normal man. Because Lord had promised Prahlad Maharaj that he will not kill anyone in his family. So he was trying to maintain that commitment, because promise made, he wants to keep by that promise. One issue happened, Prahlad Maharaj's son Virochana was killed, but not by Lord Krishna, by Indra. Then Bali Maharaj, he could have easily killed Bali Maharaj and taken over the kingdom. He did not kill Vamana. He made the commitment. So that's why Bhanasura was also not killed. Bhanasura's that fighting, if you see, Lord Shiva came to battle with Lord Krishna in that battle, in that scenario, because he promised to Bhanasura, I will be the caretaker of your kingdom. Lord Shiva came with his entire family. Skanda was there, Ganesha was there, Durga was there. And Krishna counteracted all of them, finished all of them. And Lord Shiva was so desperate, finally he released his Shiva Jvara. excessive heat. Then Lord counteracted it with Vishnu Jala. In excessive cold, heat could not survive. Finally, Shivajara came and took shelter of Lord Vishnu. Please forgive me. Please give me shelter. Then Lord Shiva realized that whom am I fighting with? I am fighting with my master. So sometimes it is also to establish the glories of the devotee. Because the commitment Lord Shiva had given that I will protect him at any cost. So he tried, he settled. But beyond the percentage or perspective, the result is not in your hand. Because the destiny maker is Lord Krishna. So similarly, with the Bali Maharaj also there was a promise made. Bali Maharaj, he captured Indra's position. How did he become so powerful? He worshipped his Guru sincerely. And Indra, why did he lose his position? He offended his Guru, Brahaspati. One day Brahaspati came to the assembly. Every day they come to the assembly. One day when he came to the assembly, Indra was very much in an intoxicated mood. So he did not get up and he did not offer respects to Brahaspati. Har din aane wala hai, aaj kya hai special hai? He took it very lightly. And Brahaspati became offended. He thought, you have become proud of your opulences. And he took it as a serious offense and he immediately vanished from that place. And after some time, Indra realized, oh, I have done a great mistake. They tried to find Brahaspati anywhere. They could not find him. They went to somebody else. They went to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma scolded him. And because of this scenario, because of offending their spiritual master, Indra lost the battle with the Bali. And Bali also was capable enough to sit in the Indra's post because he had also done 100 Ashwamedha yajnas. The qualification to sit on Indra's post was one has to perform 100 Ashwamedha yajnas. That's why when Prithu was performing the 100th sacrifice, Ashwamedha yajna, then Indra became very disturbed and he started to destroy that sacrifice. Because Bali was qualified, he came and took over Indra's position and he was sitting there. But Indra was promised a certain life period to rule. One manvantara. So Lord had to make a commitment to compromise because both are qualified people. Indra was also qualified. Bali was also qualified. So Lord made a scenario in which he will conquer Bali Maharaj and he will send to Sutala planet. And he asked him to stay till the end of the manvantara where he can come back and he will become the next Indra. Because his desire was there to rule over the planets, all the three planetary systems. Mulloka Adhipati, Triloka Adhipati. So how do we do when all the Devatas lost their position to Bali Maharaj? Then they went to Lord Vishnu and they prayed to Lord Vishnu. Please help us back. Their mother, Aditi, the mother of the Devatas. So she had performed a sacrifice by which they got a son by name Vamana, Trivikrama, Urukrama. The Lord as a dwarf personality, as a brahmachari, a cute baby. So as soon as he took birth, he went to the place where Bali Maharaj was performing a sacrifice on the banks of river Narmada. He went and by his presence itself, he attracted the attention of Bali Maharaj. As soon as he saw that cute baby, he invited him as a small brahmachari, baby brahmachari. And he said, my dear sir, I am at your disposal. Such a great personality I had visited. My function has become so glorious. So how can I serve you? So Vamana, as a small boy, he was saying, so I want a charity. Yes sir, everything is at your disposal. What can I give charity? Vamana said, I want a land which is of 3 feet of my size. 3 అడుగుల land, భగవంతుడు పాదాల size. ఇది లాజిక్ కదా. 3 feet of my size. Then Bali was thinking, Are you are this small, your feet is this small. In 3 feet, what will you do? I will give you more. Then Vamana said, no, I am satisfied with whatever record it comes. 3 feet is sufficient for me. So Bali said, okay, as you have asked, I'll go by the commitment. So he took one kamandalu as an offering into the hand, saying that, yes, I am promising to deliver you 3 feet of land. Then Shukracharya there, who was standing there, he started scolding Bali Maharaj because he was the Guru. He said, no, don't give, don't promise. Why? The person who has come to take from you is Hari. He has come to take away all from you, and he will give it back to your enemies. He will give back to your enemies. So there Prabhupada was also mentioning in that purport the mentality of Shukracharya. Shukracharya was a materialistic person. Till now he was being pampered by Bali Maharaj, and he was getting nice opulences, nice maintenance and all. Now once Rajya goes away, Bali Maharaj becomes Bhikari, and his maintenance will go away. So Shukracharya will become bankrupt or something like that. So he will not have his maintenance properly done. So he was taking care of Udara. So this charity is going to have a problem on my stomach. So he thought, no, don't give charity. Then Bali Maharaj said, Arey, you are the one who taught me that Lord is the supreme and everything has to be offered to the Lord. And when Lord himself has come to receive charity from me, and you are saying, don't do it. So you are not a proper teacher. I reject you as my teacher. So he gave 3-4 considerations why he is rejecting as the spiritual master. Shukracharya became angry. And he cursed him, because you have rejected me, I curse you that you lose everything. And he desperately tried, even in the last moment, when Bali Maharaj was trying to offer water through his kamandalu to the hands of Lord Vamana, he entered subtly and tried to block that hole so that water doesn't come out. So generally brahmacharis carry some darba grass. So Vamana took that darba grass and he poked into that, if there is any blockage. So when he poked into that, Shukracharya lost one eye because of that poking. Then water came as a commitment Bali Maharaj had promised. So the Lord immediately expanded his form. So what exactly happened next? So by his 2 feet, 1 feet he covered all the earthly planetary systems and the lower planetary systems. With his body he covered from here to the upper planetary systems. With 1 more feet he covered the Urdhva Lokas. The space was covered by his body with 1 feet from earth to lower planetary system, with other feet from earth to higher planetary system. Everything within these 14 planetary systems is done. There is nothing left over. His entire kingdom has been occupied. So then commitment, because the commitment, you failed in your promise. Lord said, now you are a criminal. Now Lord bound him with Varuna Pasha. So what happened? Tam baddam Varunai Pasher Bhagavan aha Vamanaha Nashta Shriyam Stira Prajnam Udara Yashasham Nrupa. Oh my dear king, Nrupa, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Vamanaha, Bhagavan Vamanaha, aha, then spoke to Bali Maharaj, who is Udara Yashasham, who is most liberal and celebrated personality. Udara Yashasham. And Tam Baddam Varunai Pasha, when he was bound by Varuna Pasha, Stira Prajnam, who lost Nasta Shriyam, all his bodily luster of Bali Maharaj was vanished. And he was Stira Prajnam, and he was standing there still in a fixed position in his determination. He said, no problem, you are thinking that I could not fulfill my promise. But he was standing like a Stira Prajna. Stira Prajna. Padani Trini Dattani Bhumer Mahyam Tvayasura Dvabhyam Kranta Mahi Sarva Tritiyam Upakalpaya. The Lord was saying, oh Asura, oh my dear demon, Padani Trini Dattani, you said you will give me 3 feet as charity. Bhumer Mahyam, of land, Bhume, Mahyam unto me. Dvabhyam kranta mahi sarva. In 2 feet I covered entire thing. Dvabhyam kranta mahi sarva. Sarva maha. Mahi means entire earth I had covered in 2 feet. Tritiyam upakalpaya. Where is my 3rd feet? Yavat tatapi aso gobir. Yavat indu sahodubihi. Yavat varshati parjanyas. Tavati bur iyam tava. So as long as sun shines, as long as the moons and stars shine, as long as it rains, all the land throughout the universe was in your possession. Tavati bur iyam tava. How long the sun rays goes, that much entire within this universe was under your control. Padekena maya kranto bhurloka kam dishastano swarlokaste dvitiyena pashyataste swam atmanah. Padaikena maya kranto. With 1 foot I have expanded. Bhurlokaha, entire Bhurloka and below I cover. Kas kam dishastanoho. I had entered with my body. Dishaha, all directions. Kam, the sky I had covered. Swarlokastu dvitiyena. With my dvitiya feet I covered the Swargaloka. Pashyateste swam atmanaha. So in your own presence I had covered everything. Swam atmana pashyataha. While you are looking upon only I covered everything. I did not fail in my promise. Pratishrutam aduraste pratishrutam adataste niraye vasa ishyate vishatvam nirayam tasmat guruna chanumoditaha. Adutahte pratishrutam. According to charity principle, according to rules and regulations of charity, according to the promise what you made towards charity, niraye vasa ishyate. If you fail in your charity, oh, you are supposed to reside in hell. Niraye vasa. Tasmat, therefore, guruna cha anumoditaha. Since your guru has also sanctioned this, that you stay in hell. Vishatvam nirayam. Now go to hell and live there. Vrita manoratastasya durasvarga patati adaha pratishutasya danena yo artinam vipralambata. Tasya dura swargaha. For him, this heavenly planets is very far. Duraha swargaha or vrita manorataha. For it is difficult to fulfill one's desires. Ya artinam vipralambate adhanena. One who does not give a beggar properly. Adhanena. Or pratishutasya. And what has been promised. You said he will give a promise. But if you did not give that promise, maintain that promise, patati adaha, you will fall down to hellish. So that's why commitment is to maintain the promise. If you do not maintain your promise, you are destined to fall to a lower planetary system, to a hellish form of life. That's what here Lord was informing Bali Maharaj. So with that context also, Lord pushed him to Sutala planet. See, one thing is because he had completely surrendered. Bali Maharaj said, see, everything property you have taken, but my body is still there with me. He offered his head as the 3rd feet. And Lord, by accepting the 3rd feet, pressed him to Sutala planet and sent all his associates to Sutala planet. And he said Sutala planet will be more auspicious and more opulent than Swargaloka. And Lord himself became the doorkeeper of Sutala planet because of his sincere devotion. Atma Nivedanam, he completely surrendered himself. So, this demoniac mentality is they think that they have conquered everything, but they should know that Lord is the original conqueror, the Lord is the original owner. Whenever he wants, he can issue to us, and whenever he wants, he can withdraw from us. So that is the point what is being communicated here. So in devotee's life also sometimes the Lord acts in such a way that he cleans up all the unwanted things of others who are associating with the devotee. Like for example, this was a story between a Rasika, what is his name? Rasikananda. They are disciple of Shyamananda. And his intricate pastime with Lord Jagannatha. So Rasika had a beautiful temple in Gopi Vallapura of Govindji deity. So every year he used to organize a festival there for the pleasure of the deities. It is called as Rasa Mandala. The deity will be brought and the various pastime stories of the Lord will be enacted there. For the pleasure of the Lord, Lord will be offered special Naivedya, feast, everything and all. And all the Vaishnavas and all the disciples and all the associates who would come there would enjoy that scenario with music, kirtan, bhajan, story narration, katha discussion. And it was in the midst of a forest, next to a river with the full covered by kadamba flower trees and all. So that there was a Suvarnareka river. When the devotees came there at particular time of the season, the water became so low that it receded very back. So Rasika immediately called the river and he said, if you are a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, you are causing too much inconvenience to all the other Vaishnavas. So without water, without scarcity of water, the seva to the Lord becomes an impediment. Please do something. Don't disappoint us. The next day, that night itself, there was a heavy flood. Suvarnareka came so closer that the entire area was filled with water so much. So everybody became very happy. And everybody started glorifying Rasikananda for his thing that even rivers, what to speak of common thing, even rivers are also obeying by his command. The festival was done very nicely and everybody were distributed opulent gifts and all. Rasika satisfied everyone by prasadam, various dress, materials, everything were all distributed to all the Vaishnavas. And one day when they were seated there to honor prasadam, so suddenly there was a heavy downpour. There was black clouds, the gust wind was flowing everywhere. So Rasika immediately saw towards the sky and he said, my dear Indra, what are you doing? When devotees are honoring prasadam, it is not a way to disturb them. If you want to rain, go and rain elsewhere, not at this particular point. So on the command of Rasika, even Indra informed all his assistants not to drop a water in that village of Gopi Vallapura. Outside of Gopi Vallapura, it was pouring downpour. It was like a cyclonic impact. But entire Gopi Vallapura was very dry, not even a drop of water. And everybody had prasadam very nicely. And everybody appreciated Rasika's capacity. That even Indra had to obey by the orders of Rasika. Such a great personality. In the meantime, in Puri, Lord Jagannatha came in the dream of the head pujari one day. And he said, I have a very dear devotee by Rasikananda. So I want to have his association. I wanted him to come and see me. So immediately inform the king, send him a messenger, ask him to come and be part of my Ratha Yatra. So when the priest came to inform the king of the message, the king also said, I also got a same dream in which Lord is asking me to invite Rasikananda to come. The king also became very happy with the true Brahmanas. He sent a humble letter informing the Rasikananda to come back to Jagannath Puri for the Ratha Yatra time. So in the meantime, Rasika was in some other place. He was in a meditation place, even isolatedly he was sitting there and he heard a voice, come and see me soon. So he opened his eyes and he was looking everywhere. Where did the sound come from? He was trying to identify what the sound is, who that personality was. So he could not understand. Then he went into meditation and he understood it was Lord Jagannatha who was calling him. Then he informed all the associates. Lord Jagannatha was asking him to come and join in the Ratha Yatra. So the Lord, he immediately, as he was trying to update all the associates, the two Brahmanas came there and submitted that letter from the king. And the Lord himself has given his personal cloth as a token, saying that it was an invitation from my side. So as soon as this Brahmanas handed out that cloth, he took that cloth, offered obeisances to that cloth, tied him around his neck, and when he read that letter, he informed all the associates, yes, this is the confirmation, Lord Jagannatha wants us to come. So they all started towards Jagannath Puri from their respective place. So in the meantime, they had to cross through various villages and various cities and towns. And it was a huge group who was going by. So Rasikananda collected all his musical instruments, musical books, literatures, and all his subjects, and they started carrying. When they came to Yajapura, so there was one Varāha deity, they had darshan of the temple there, and they had to cross that river, the Yajapura, to come to the other side, Vaitarani river. So they all got into a boat, but the mood and atmosphere at that time was of a cyclonic mood. So everybody was feeling very afraid to get onto the boat because the waves of that river were all very disturbing scenario. But Rasika promised them, he said, don't worry, think of the Lord, and everybody sat on that boat. And the wind was so heavy that it was tossing the boat here and there, always to and fro it was making. And when they came to the center of the river, the heavy wind started disturbing the shelter. The person, the boatman, he came to Rasika and he said, my dear sir, please do something. I don't have control of the boat. I have lost the control of the boat. Then Rasika said, all of you, don't worry, don't be afraid. Think of the lotus feet of the Lord with no other thought. As soon as he said that, the boat topsy-turvy. All the people in the boat fell down into the water. And people who were seeing on the shore that all the boat people have capsized and they have fallen into the water, they all started crying. They all started praying to Narayana, please protect our devotees. And the other boatmen there, they started running towards the capsized area. But to the surprise of everyone, when they came there, they saw the people who have fallen into the water only the height of only knee deep. The entire river was only up to their knees, where the boatman with his 20 feet bamboo pole was not able to get the ground. So immediately Rasika overturned the boat. He had asked all the people to get back onto the boat. They started collecting all their luggages. But one book box which Rasika was carrying with all his books was missing. Then one of the associates dived deep into the water. He started running against the current. He could find the trunk with all the boxes, but his Bhagavatam was missing. Rasika's Bhagavatam was missing. Then he retrieved all the books. Not even a drop of water entered into that box, so that all the box was safe. The Bhagavatam was not there. Then Rasika started informing, please find where is this Bhagavatam. Other devotees also went inside, but they could not find. Finally, Rasika only said, yes, I can observe that Bhagavatam. I can know where it is location. Then he had asked the boatman to go near that side. The other two people tried to lift that Bhagavatam from the water, but they are not able to lift it. Desperately, 20 people tried to lift that book from the water. They could not lift it. Then finally, Rasika himself went and put his hand onto the book, that like a flower you lift it out from the water. He lifted that book easily from the water. Then everybody started glorifying Rasikananda for his capacity. Then finally they crossed the river, they went to the other side. And because the time period for Rath Yatra has become very short, he started walking so fast. And he was not even wearing any footwear. And his feet were bleeding. So devotees were asking him, associates were asking him, please do something, take some rest. Your feet were bleeding. He tore some of his dhoti and tied as some socks to his feet, but that did not stop that bleeding. The way he was walking, his associates had to run to maintain that speed. In the meantime, Rath Yatra came, the day has come, Lord Jagannatha sat on the chariot with Baladeva and Subhadra. And the king had finished all the rituals, and when they started pulling, Ratha stopped there, he did not move. Then the elephants were invited, nothing happened. The king with all his ministers and all pahalwans and all, they took up the ropes. The Ratha was not even moving an inch. So when there was desperate situation, the Lord appeared into the head pujari and informed him, don't worry, my dear devotee, Rasikananda had not yet reached. That's why this Ratha will not move as long as he does not come. Don't waste your time and endeavor. And as soon as he comes, this Ratha will automatically move. Don't bother. He has come to a place called Tulasi Chaura. He is staying there. Immediately get him here. So the priest went and informed the king that go and bring immediately Rasika. The king immediately set out, and he had sent some messengers forward to say that king was personally coming him to invite. So when they came up to Ataranala, Ataranala means a bridge which has 18 holes. Ataranala. So that was the entrance to Puri. So Rasika and his party had reached there, and king came there and paid obeisances and received him. Rasika hugged him, embraced him, and they immediately took him towards the chariot. And when they went near the chariot, they saw Lord Jagannatha. Rasika became so ecstatic and he started chanting, dancing, singing. He offered various presentations to the deity, ornaments, dresses, jewels. And after chanting and dancing, he was almost exhausted. The entire kirtan was so nice and so melodious. His entire party was so exhibiting that ecstatic perspective of kirtan. The entire world who were witnessing that kirtan, even Lord Jagannatha, became so stagnant. They all forgot that it is Rath Yatra. They have to pull the rod to the other side. Then the temple commander, he came and said, "My dear sir, we are already late. The Ratha has to move, other rituals has to happen. Please come and pull the Ratha. Lord will not move unless you pull the Ratha." Then Rasika went to the chariot. At one of the pillars of the chariot, he offered obeisances and touched his head to the chariot. And all the chariots started running. So much so that in next moment, very short span, all the chariots reached to the other side. In a short span. So such is the pastime, such is the attraction for the Lord and his devotees. The Lord stopped his Ratha Yatra also for his dear devotee. So Rasika stayed for 9 days for the entire Ratha Yatra. In 9 days, the program was every day he was having that bhajan, kirtan, sankirtan, and every day there was discussion on Vedic literatures among Vaishnava scholars. The king was giving him every day the special Naivedya offered to Jagannatha to entire party for Rasika to take care of the Vaishnavas and their thing. So in that way, the Lord was very much satisfied with Rasika's endeavor. And after saying for a few days, Rasika went back, promising that every year he will come for Rath Yatra. So devotees are so glorious. Devotional service is so glorious. Lord becomes bound by their bhakti. That's why Lord is known as Bhavagrahi Janardana. Lord knows the bhava of the devotee and he reciprocates accordingly. So devotional perspectives are the one which are holding on us. So we should also develop that our sincere devotion towards the Lord under the guidance of the spiritual master properly and abiding by the instructions. Or else we will lose whatever endeavors we have done, like Bali Maharaj has lost. But in a wrong way, that was because he did not satisfy his guru in material perspective. But we have to follow the systematic rules and regulations as given by Purport. Little deviation also can destroy our own devotional life. If you are traversing on a bus path, for a moment you close your eyes, what will happen? Done. So if a moment of inattentiveness can also drive us away from our devotional endeavors. So you have to be very careful. We are on a highway. And where this highway is going to? Golok Vrindavan. So we have to be very careful. One moment you will land up in Swargaloka or some other place, which is again torture for us to waste again so many lifetimes again there in this material world. So you have to be very careful. So we'll stop here. Any questions and answers?
So why do devotees in the demonic bodies like so they'll attack the gods. At the same time, why not Prahlad Maharaj being a devotee will guide Bali Maharaj because he's there in the sacrifice.
See, Prahlad Maharaj was also guiding Bali. But one particular point was everybody have their ambitions. Sometimes that personal ambitions will also be there. To want to serve the Lord in a different way. So to fulfill their ambitions also, as a pastime also Lord sometimes places them in that certain particular point. So that things happen by the will of the Lord for some other incarnation. It is said that in the next incarnation when Bali becomes Indra, Lord will take one more purpose as an incarnation to replace his existing Indra with Bali. Bhagavatam says that in 8th canto. One specific incarnation will come to replace our current Indra with Bali. So what happens? So today's step will be something for the tomorrow's something. Today's reason will be for tomorrow's some other purpose. Because Lord is in control of the complete scenario. He has full information. For us at that particular point, we don't have that complete information. We may assume that it is not complete and we assume some bits and pieces knowledge. And Indra is a position which was position which sometimes when there is no qualified person, Lord himself will accept that position. When there was no first Indra, Lord himself as Yajna became the first Indra. The Lord wanted, as a king, the best of his devotees. Sometimes materially qualified people also will come and sit there. Like our present Indra, who is Purandara. He is a mixed devotee. So whenever there is an opportunity, he will exhibit his individual tendency, and whenever he is in trouble, he will serve the Supreme Lord. But Bali Maharaj, being a greatest Mahajana, greatest devotee, maybe he will be able to give a good insight into the perspective also. How when he rules, currently we can't understand when he rules, but when he rules, how the scenario will be when a great devotee serves the mission of the Lord. We don't know how Lord is setting example for future. Okay? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Prem.